Hello, everyone. This is a video overview of the syllabus quiz with a twist activity. This is not actually a quiz for you. It's an activity where you're quizzing one of the AI platforms to see how well it can process a text. In this case, we're going to use the syllabus. The quiz itself is easy enough for you to do on your own. You don't need that, and that's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to show and give you a little bit of practice with if you're not already familiar with the Bing Copilot slide out chat. So before you even answer those questions, the idea is that you have a natural language conversation with the Copilot chat. Let me refresh that screen there. And so now I'm ready to have a conversation with the syllabus. I'm approaching this from the standpoint that I'm a student in the class and I have a vested interest in knowing, you know, basic things about the course. Who's teaching it? What are the expectations? What are the communication preferences and things like that? I definitely want to know how grades are calculated and how things are weighted and what kind of grading system they have. So, I would definitely ask some kind of question on the communication preferences, maybe the course requirements, and so on. So basically scroll through the syllabus, focus on the sections that you naturally have the most questions about. You probably want to know, do I have late work policy? Do I have to buy a book? If I do, what do I have to buy? Or what is required for this class? Those kinds of things. I'm going to scroll down here to the grading part because I think everybody is always going to be interested in this. So I'm going to ask a question, and since I can see this table here, it's going to be really easy to test and see how accurate it is. So I'm going to say, and I do have to, one thing I do want to make clear is that when you're interacting with something on the screen with Copilot slide out chat, you do have to make the context clear. If I just ask a general question, it's not going to know if I'm asking about content on this page or if I'm just asking a question in general. If it thinks that I'm asking a question in general, then it may pull from the internet or it may just give a generic answer instead of answering from this document. So I'm going to say, what is the grade distribution for, I'm going to put listed on the syllabus on this page. What are the grade categories and how is everything weighted for the final course grade? So I'm going to ask something like that, and I'm hoping it's going to be accurate and give me what I see over here on the left. So there we go. I look at that and it is correct. So it's not necessarily going to get everything correct. There's some things because of the way I have it written on the syllabus that it's not likely to pick up. It may pick up some things on the readings and assignments timeline, for example. It might get due dates right if you're like, hey, when is such and such assignment due? If it's very clearly stated, it may get it right, but the way I've done it by putting abbreviations of M, R, F for the day of the week, it may not pick up those kinds of things, but it should pick up text-based things, and it can also process and describe images. Not that that's necessary for this, but just so you know, it can generally do that. So the idea is that you go through and you ask questions like, so here's, about, the textbook. So I might ask, do I need to buy a textbook for this class? What kinds of materials and technology do I need? I might ask something like that. Now, notice in this one, I haven't said on this page. If I get a general answer, I may have to go back and do that, but I'm hoping it remembers the context from that first question. Okay, all right, this looks correct. No textbooks are required for this class. All reading materials will be provided. However, you will need to watch the movie Doubt starring Meryl Streep, yada yada. That is correct, correct, correct. So this all looks good so far. Um, Always trust but verify. Remember that it can get things wrong. So the idea is you go all the way through the syllabus. You're going to have a full conversation. You're not just going to ask two or three questions. And hopefully by the time you've done that, especially if you're focusing on all the main categories, you'll know all the things that you need to know. But do make sure you're looking for, is there a late work policy? What's the AI policy? And things like that. Um, and make sure that you are verifying either from having read the syllabus ahead of time, reading the relevant sections while you're doing this, and so on to make sure that you're getting the right answers. When you've got a whole thread and you're ready to exit out, one of the things I'm going to ask you to do, not for the syllabus quiz part, but for the reflection activity that comes after it, is you're going to have to copy the whole thread. Before you do that, though, what you may want to do is go into the course, and I don't have this in student view right now, but I'm going to click into our folder and go down to the assignment area. And here is the syllabus quiz with a twist. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you'll see down here that there are some questions. So now before you get out of the slide out chat, I recommend that you don't necessarily just put these questions in there. You probably, after if you've had a good conversation, you're already going to know these and you can just, kind of go through and answer these. Some of them are free response. What I don't want you to do is copy and paste what Copilot says. I don't care if you use Copilot to find the answer or to summarize it, but I want you to put your answer in your own words. And if it's a 16-point question, give me a 16-point answer, meaning, give me a little paragraph on that. Make sure that you're demonstrating that you know the ins and outs of the AI policy. Don't have to write a book, but be specific, kind of thing. But go through and see if there's anything on here that you don't know off the top of your head or whatever. And if you're like, oh, what is the AI policy? Then you can bounce back over here. And then obviously you want to scroll to, that part. And I'm just going to ask it right here. I'm going to say, what is the specific AI policy for this class? And see what it says. Now, obviously, I'd have to check this. Transparency and disclosure. Yeah, this all looks accurate. Let's see. AI threads have to be submitted as part of the process work. Okay, this looks to be pretty good. But, if you didn't know that, you would have to go and, find that part of the syllabus to verify. Now, you wouldn't copy and paste all of that, but you would kind of read through the syllabus to verify it. And then you come back over here, you click into the document editor, and you just put that in your own words. It'd be a lot shorter than this, but I would want to hear, the specifics of that. So it is super easy to answer those questions. And so once you answer those questions, you'll just submit that, get your easy 100, and then you'll come here to the reflection, on this. And this is where you'll need to turn in two things here. You're going to turn in your reflective writing about the experience of using Copilot in this activity, and you'll also need the thread for that. And so by the thread, I mean your conversation with AI. In this example, I don't have a full conversation, but let's pretend for a moment that I have a full conversation. And so what I'm going to do, and this is the only platform, by the way, that I'm going to ask you to do this clunky copy paste method. All the other AI platforms that we will use, I have a better method. But for this one, and for a variety of reasons, we're going to copy paste. So I'm just going to go through like the whole thing, copy paste that, right click, copy, and then I'm going to open up a Word file and I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to ask you to do one other thing, before you save that file for your thread. And I'm going to ask you to kind of turn it into a script where you'll put, me next to questions that you're asking, and you'll put Copilot next to the responses that it gives or whatever. It just makes it easier for me to read, but super easy. The reflection is super easy. It's just a couple of paragraphs. I give you very specific instructions on what to do and what goes in there. And I have a student example in there. The student example that I have is from a year ago. So AI has changed a lot since then. So you don't feel like you need to parrot what she says or anything. Speak your truth, and say your say in terms of the questions of the things that I ask for in that reflection. So both the syllabus quiz with the twist and the reflection are super easy, and I just wanted to do a video overview, especially for face-to-face classes in case somebody had question about that after class. They can go back and refer to this video. So let me wrap this up so I can get this out and in the course.